Good day. We are the Group 1 and now we're going to present our report about the correction pillar or the fourth pillar of the CJS or criminal justice system. We all know naman po na ang correction pillar is one of the pillar of the criminal justice system or the CJS. It is the fourth pillar and also known as the weakest pillar. Later on, malalaman po natin bakit po siya tinawag na weakest pillar ng CJS or the criminal justice system. Ang correction daw po is in charge with the responsibility of the custody. To be specific, kung yan po ay nasa loob ng kulungan, ang offender po ay nasa loob ng kulungan or nasa labas man yan, meron na po nangangalaga sa kanila or nagsusupervise. And yung purpose po nito is to rehabilitate of the convicts or the offender. Nagiging treatment po sa kanila yon, hindi lang po parusa ang purpose ng correction, but also to rehabilitate of the offender. Para po pagbalik nila sa kanilang community, ay reform na po sila. Kumbaga, ready na po silang makihalubilo and to start and begin a new life with them. We have four important theories po in the correction pillar. First, we have the classical theory, neoclassical theory, positivist theory, and last is eclectic theory. To begin with the classical theory, ang sabi po dito, it is also known as the free will established by Cesar Beccaria. We all know that Cesar Beccaria po is the father of the criminology and penology. So, ang sabi po dito, ang tao daw po ay ang gumagawa ng krimen base sa kanyang kagustuhan o human free will. Kung gusto niya or kagustuhan niya ba gumawa ng krimen. And dito sa classical theory, nakapokus po sa paggawa ng krimen or nakafocus sa crime na ginawa ng tao. Example is, what if bata yung gumawa ng crime? Kung bata man yan, if nasa proper na pag-iisip ka naman, they're still liable for the crime that they have committed. Pananagutan ka pa rin ng batas kung ano man ang ginawa mo as long as kagustuhan mo yung ginawa mo or may human free will ka na gawin ang isang krimen. Neoclassical theory. Sinasabi po dito sa neoclassical theory, ang tao daw po ay hindi nakokontrol ang kanilang human free will. Unlike sa classical theory, ang mga tao ay nakokontrol nila ang human free will. Bakit dito sa neoclassical hindi? Because may mga certain factors po na nakakaapekto sa kanilang proper na pag-iisip. Positivist theory. This is also known as the Italian theory established by Cesar Lombroso. Kumbaga sinasabi dito, nakafocus ito sa tao mismo kung ano yung nagtutulak sa kanya para gumawa ng krimen. Because may mga factors na nakakaapekto sa kanya why siya nagko-commit ng crime. We have the biological, sociological, and psychological affecting the criminal behavior. So, sinasabi po dito, sa positivist theory, the criminal behavior is caused by internal factors and external factors affecting the individual's control. So, the only way daw po to prevent this crime by positivist theory is through reformation, rehabilitation, and treatment. Next, we have the eclectic theory. Itong theory na po is pinagsama-sama classical theory, neoclassical theory, positivist theory. So, dito na po pumapasok ang social justice. Dito po sa eclectic theory, mayroon siyang human free will. Pero po yung purpose po ng penalty nila is katulad ng positivist theory, wherein rehabilitation, reformation, and treatment, not retribution. Why is correction is tagged as the weakest pillar of the criminal justice system?
Good afternoon, everyone, and especially to you, ma'am. I'm Edza Jane M. Malikad from DS Crim 1C, and I'm reporting the 9 to 18 slides. We will start about the correction pillar. Correction is the weakest pillar of the criminal justice system because of its failure to reform and rehabilitate offenders and prevent them from returning to a criminal life. It is the purpose of correction to reform and rehabilitate offenders. In other words, correction is the weakest pillar of the criminal justice system because of its failure to fulfill its purpose. My honest opinion about this is they're calling the correction pillar as the weakest pillar because it don't fulfill its purpose. Its purpose is to rehabilitate or reform a convicted criminal. On the other words, the correction pillar's goal is to avoid the criminal to commit another crime while serving his or her sentence or even after serving his sentence. But we all know that those things are not controllable. That's why there's what we call the habitual delinquent and the recidivist. But on the bright side, there are also persons who change his way of lifestyle after getting in prison or jail. They become more disciplined and doesn't commit crime. Next slide is, if the purpose of correction is to reform and rehabilitate offenders, why is that death penalty was once imposed? The death penalty was once imposed to serve as deterrent factor for persons who would commit violent crimes and as retribution for those who shock of the community because of crime that they committed. By the exercise of police power, the state may take the life of a person if that person proves himself to be a dangerous member of the society. In legal terms, it is viewed as a means of ensuring justice for victims and their families. Death penalty is execution of an offender sentenced to death after conviction by a court of law. And sino nga ba ang dapat mapatawan ng death penalty? Ito yung mga taong threat sa community and the one who commit the heinous crimes. Police power in the state. Police power and the inherent power of the state to enact and regulations in relation to persons and property as may promote public health, public morals, public safety, and the general welfare and convenience of the people. This power enables the government agencies, particularly the Law Enforcement Agency or the PNP, to maintain peace and order, prevent crimes, protect citizens, and respond to emergencies. Police power encompasses a wide range of activities including law enforcement, traffic regulations, disaster response, and the public health measures. Now we will tackle about the classifications of corrections. There are two classifications of corrections. First is the institutional correction and the non-institutional correction. So what is institutional correction? Institutional correction deals with jails, prisons, and colonies where is a convict going to serve his sentence. The goal of institutional correction is to promote behavior change, foster personal growth, and equip individuals with the skills needed to reintegrate into society successfully upon the release. So next is the institutional correction. Institutional correction, it is the one who deals with service of sentence of a convict outside an institution, also known as community-based treatment for a convict who is going to serve his sentence in the community by the way of probation, parole, and others. Okay, and the goal of this institution is to aim at rehabilitating and reintegrating individuals who have committed offenses without confining them to institutional settings like prisons or correctional facilities. Ang example ng mga non-institutional corrections is the probation, who are the offenders are released into the community under supervision. Next is parole. Similar to probation, parole involves releasing individuals from prison before the completion of their sentence. And last, the community sentence or the community service. Offenders may be required to perform unpaid work for the benefit of a community as a form of restitution of their offenses. And lastly, I will just read the three aims of correctional reforms. To provide judges with more options to deal with offenders through the use of probation, day fines, commitment to community treatment centers, pre-trial release, and other measures short of imprisonment. Next is to improve conditions in prisons and jails, including decongestion, improve housing, more effective medical, educational, vocational training, and rehabilitation program services. Lastly is the establishing an integrated correctional system that will ensure the development of a unified philosophy Implementation of uniform standards and policies, efficient delivery of service to offenders while at the same time protecting the interests and welfare of the society.
Punishment, it is the redress that a state takes against an offending member of society that usually involve pain and suffering. It is also the penalty imposed on offender for a crime or wrongdoing. Why do we have punishment? We have punishment because the victims want to have justice for what they go through. They want for offenders to feel the pain that the offender simply condemn. And also, ito yung paraan para hindi na ulitin pa ng iba ang krimen na nakakasakit o nakakasira sa tao o sa gamit man. Purposes or justification of punishment. Retribution. The punishment should be provided by a state whose sanction is violated, to afford the society or the individual the opportunity of imposing upon the offender suitable punishment might be enforced. Offenders should be punished because they deserve it. Retribution. Just like I said, gusto ng mga nabiktima na maparanas yung sakit na nararamdaman nila o naramdaman nila dahil sa krimen na ginawa ng may kaso. Example, ang kasong murder. Ang panghabang buhay na pagkakakulong na nakakapagbigay ng hustisya para sa pamilya ng biktima. Reformation or rehabilitation ay tulad ng pagbibigay sa isang tao ng pangalawang pagkakataon na magbago. Example, ang isang tao na sangkot sa mga krimen na may kaugnayan sa droga ay napunta sa bilangguan. Sa halip na panatilihan silang nakakulong, ang sistema ng hustisya ay nag-aalok sa kanila ng mga programa sa pagpapayo at rehabilitation ng droga habang sila ay nagsisilbi sa kanilang sentensya. Ang mga programang ito ay tumutulong sa tao na matagunan ang mga dahilan ng kanilang pag-ugali, matuto ng mga bagong kakayahan na maaari nilang magamit sa paglabas ng kulungan at bumuo ng mga paraan upang lumayo sa droga kapag sila ay nakalaya. Expiation or atonement is the punishment in the form of group vengeance where the purpose is to appease the offended public or group. Ito ang pagbabayad sa salang nagawa tungkol sa pagbawi sa isang bagay na mali o kasalanan na iyong nagawa. Ito ay tulad ng paghingi ng pamanhin at sinusubukang ayusin ng mga bagay upang ikaw ay mapatawad o maitama. Sa mga pagtatama sa mga nagawang pagkakamali o pananakit, maaaring pag-amin sa iyong pagkakamali, pagpapakita ng pagsisisi at paggawa ng aksyon. Example, hit and run na sanhi ng pagkamatay ng isang tao. Sa halip na tumakas sa pinangyarihan o tanggihan ng pagkakasangkot, ang driver ay agad na sumuko sa pulisya, umamin sa krimen at nagsabi ng pagsisisi sa kanyang aksyon. Inaako ng driver ang buong responsibilidad para sa kanyang nagawa. Deterrence is punishments give lesson to offender by showing to others what would happen to them if they violate the law. Punishment is imposed to warn potential offenders that they can't afford to do what the offender has done. Deterrence ay pagbibigay babala o pagpapakita sa publiko ng mga maaring mangyari sa isang akusado kapag ginawa ang krimen. Halimbawa, ang mga public official o mga may posisyon sa gobyerno tapos nag-corrupt sila, ang parusa sa kanila ay pagkakakulong at mataas na multa. Incapacitation and protection, the public is protected if the offender has been held condition where he cannot harm others, especially the public. Punishment is affected by placing offenders in prison so that society is ensured from further criminal depredation of criminals. Dito ay ang kawalan ng kakayahan ng may sala na gumawa ng kahit anong krimen o makapanakit ng tao sa pamamagitan ng pagkakakulong sa kanila. Reformation or rehabilitation, it is the establishment of the usefulness and responsibility of the offender. Society's interest can be better served by helping the prisoner to become law-abiding citizen and productive upon his return to the community by requiring him to undergo intensive program of rehabilitation in prison. Capital punishment is death by means of burning at stake, hanging, garroting, stoning, drowning, crucifixion, quartering, flying, boiling, Spanish donkey, brazen bull, fed to animals, breaking the wheel, beheading, and other forms of medieval execution. Ang capital punishment na kilala rin bilang parusang kamatayan ay isang legal na parusa kung saan ang isang tao ay hinatulan ng kamatayan ng bansa bilang parusa para sa isang krimen. Ang parusang ito ay karaniwang nakalaan para sa mga seryosong pagkakasala tulad ng pagpatay o pagtataksil.
So now we will tackle about the corporal punishment. So what is corporal punishment? It is a punishment with physical torture by means of mutilation, whipping or flogging, stocks, furka, stoning, branding, mutilation or flogging, and whipping. It also refers to the physical force such as spanking, paddling, or other forms of physical discipline to correct or control a person's behavior. It is often practiced in educational or domestic settings, although its use has declined in many countries due to concerns about the effectiveness and potential harm to the individual's physical and emotional well-being. So here in the Philippines, hindi natin sinusunod ang ganitong klaseng punishment because ito ay lumalabag sa ating human rights. Pillory, a prisoner in a standing position with the head and hands locked in place. Both devices expose the prisoner to the public scorn, and while confined in place, prisoners were frequently pelted with eggs and rotten fruit. In England, they abolished the pillory during the 1834. It was often used to form a public humiliation for minor offenses as a part for larger of punishment for more serious crimes. Flogging or whipping. Flogging or whipping has been most common physical punishment through the ages. The Mosaic Code, for example, authorized flogging, and the Roman law specified flogging as a punishment for certain forms of theft. It is common in England during the Middle Ages as chastisement for a wide variety of crimes. Women were flogged in the private, while men were publicly whipped. The construction of flogging whips from simple leather straps or willow branches to heavy, complicated instruments designed to inflict a maximum pain. And lastly is the cat o' nine tails, a traditional form of whip consisting of 9 knotted cords fastened to a wooden handle. Cat got its name from the marks it left on the body, which were live scratch of a cat. The cat o' nine tails was used to discipline sailors or soldiers for infractions or disobedience. Its use has largely been discontinued in modern times due to its association with the cruelty and inhumane punishment.
Ang Russian note po ay isa pong form ng punishment ng unang panahon. Ito po yung parusa sa Russia na kung saan ang mga tao ay pilit na pinapalo o binubugbog gamit ang sanglatigo o whip o tinatawag na knout. Ito po ay isang brutal at mapanakit na paraan na pagpaparusa sa mga tao noon.
Furka. Furka is a V-shaped yoke worn around the neck and where the outstretched arms of convict were tied to. Furka. Ang furka po ay isa po ito sa mga forms of punishment na kung saan ay isa ito sa mga forms of physical punishment in a way that na nagpapatong sila ng kahoy sa kanyang leeg at also sa kanyang shoulder. And yung purpose po ng furka is purpose po ng punishment na ito is to give or magbigay ng kahihiyan or parusa sa nasasaktan or sa kriminal. Next is the polo e servicio. We all know that the polo e servicio naman ay isang uri ng sistema na kung saan obliged po ang lahat ng tao sa pagtatrabaho nang hindi binabayaran at pang-aabuso lamang ang nakukuha na lamang nila dito. Kaya naman nagiging alipin ito ng pamahalaan. Itong polo e servicio naman po or itong mga alipin na ito ay kinakalbo pa dahil ito ang simbolo ng pagiging alipin nila bilang tao sa ilalim ng hindi makatuwirang pamahalaan. Next, penal servitude or civil death. Ito po ay dalawang konsepto ng parusa or forms of punishment noong panahon ng mga Romano. Una po is your penal servitude. Ito po isang uri ng parusa or punishment ng mga criminal offenders wherein sila po ay kinukulong or ilalagay sila under the service or paglilingkuran nila ang bayan in a certain time bilang parusa sa kanilang kasalanang nagawa or nakumit. Pangalawa naman po is yung civil death. Yung civil death naman po, ito po isang uri ng konsepto ng parusa or forms of punishment wherein mawawalan po sila ng rights, karapatan or privilege bilang isang mamamayan sa isang lipunan bilang kaparusahan sa kanilang nagawa. And itinuturing po silang patay sa kanilang lipunan. Also, if may asawa naman itong criminal na ito, considered as widow na po yun. and may karapatan po siya na magpakasal ulit sa iba.
Mutilation, ito ay isang masela na gawain ng isang individual na kung saan nagdudulot ito ng matinding pinsala sa katawan ng individual, gaya ng pagputol ng kamay sa mga magnanakaw, paglapastangan o pagpunit ng maselang bahagi ng katawan, na kung saan ang mutilation na ito ay nagdudulot ng pagkasira o pagkakaroon ng sakit sa isip ng isang tao. Banishment or exiles is the sending or putting away of an offender. Banishment or exile, ito ay isang parusa na isang tao na lumabag sa batas o pamantayang lipunan. Ang pagkakaiba ng dalawa ay ang banishment ay isang uri ng parusa na ibinibigay bilang resulta ng paggatol sa isang krimen na umalis sa lungsod o bansa na kung saan sila kinasuhan. Ang exile naman ay kusang pag-alis ng isang kriminal sa lungsod. In short, ang banishment ay remove by force at ang exile live willingly. Jail, ito ay isang pasilidad na ginagamit para sa pagkulong ng mga tao na nakatulan ng minor offense o felonies at nagsisilbi ng maikling sentensya o naghihintay ng paglilitis sa kanilang mga kaso. Ito ay nakapaloob sa correctional pillar o tinatawag silang criminal o convict sa criminal justice system. Nature of jails and prisons. In the Philippines, correctional institutions are generally thought of as limited to jails and prison. This is so because in our system of criminal justice, imprisonment is the most commonly used method of dealing with criminals. In fact, it is oftentimes the only option given the judge in meting out penalties to convicted offenders, except in other cases where a fine or only civil liability may be imposed. Nature of jails and prisons, ito yung system natin dito sa Pilipinas. Alam naman natin na ginagawa is pagkulong sa mga kriminal at mga lumabag sa batas. Ito yung ginawang paraan sa pagharap nila sa mga nagawa nila, and yung judge or hukom ang nagpapataw sa kanila nito. Provincial jail or bilanggong provincial o isa sa nasentensyaan ng pagkakulong ng 6 na buwan at 1 araw hanggang 3 taon. At ito ay nagpapatakbo ng mga kulungan na kadalasang ginagamit upang taanan ng mga bilanggo na nagsisilbi ng mas mahabang sentensya o naghihintay ng paglilitis para sa mga krimeng may kinalaman sa mas kabigatan. Provincial jails are under the supervision and control of the provincial government. City and municipal jail ay nagpapatakbo ng mga kulungan sa lungsod o munisipyo na kadalasan naglalagay ng mga bilanggo na nagsisilbi na mas maikling sentensya. At ito naman ay pinagkaitan ng kalayaan na hindi higit sa 6 na buwan. City and municipal jails are governed by the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. Old Bilibid Prison is kilala at present as Manila City Jail. Yung Manila government, sinuap yung property niya sa Muntinlupa to Old Bilibid Prison na pagmamayari ng national government. Yan sa pagpalit or pagswap ng dalawang property na to, yung Old Bilibid Prison ngayon ay owned na siya by the Manila government at pinangalan ng Manila City Jail. Old Bilibid Prison is known at present as Manila City Jail. The Manila government swapped its property located at Muntinlupa to the Old Bilibid Prison, which was owned by the national government by virtue of swapping the two properties. The Old Bilibid Prison is now owned by the Manila government, where it was named as the Manila City Jail. And lot in Muntinlupa is now owned by the national government. The national government built the New Bilibid Prison in said lot at Muntinlupa. The New Bilibid Prison is meron itong 2 satellite na ang una ay ang Bukal Liwayway na nagtataglay ng mga minimum security prisoners na nagtatrabaho sa iba't ibang proyekto ng institusyon. At ang pangalawa ay ang Sampaguita Camp, kung saan matatagpuan ang Reception and Diagnostic Center, Medium Security Unit at Youth Rehabilitation Center. Provincial jails are administered by the provincial government. City and municipal jails are administered by Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. BJMP prisons are administered by Bureau of Correction. So, yung kulungan is pinamumunuan siya ng provincial jails or mga pamahalaang panlalawigan. Ang bilangguan naman ay pinamumunuan siya ng Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, BJMP, and Bureau of Corrections. Jails are housing persons who are deprived of their liberty for not more than 3 years, while prisons are housing persons who are deprived of their liberty for more than 3 years. So, sa jails or kulungan, ang mga taong pinagkaitan ng kalayaan ng hindi higit sa 3 taon, habang prison or bilangguan ay yung mga taong pinagkaitan ng kalayaan sa higit na 3 taon.
My name is Dion John Paul Italiada. My report is all about probation. Is a convict mandated to serve is in jail or prison. As a rule, a convict is mandated to serve his penalty in jail or prison because no one can escape the punishment imposed for his criminal act except if he has been granted probation, pardon, amnesty, or reprieve. The penalty imposed upon a convict may also be reduced by virtue of good time allowance, parole, or commutation. Bilang isang tuntunin, ang isang convict ay inatasan na magsilbi sa kanyang parusa sa kulungan dahil walang sino ang makakatakas sa parusang ipinataw para sa kanyang kriminal na gawain, maliban kung bibigyan siya ng probasyon, pardon, amnesty, o reprieve. Ang parusang ipinataw sa isang convict ay maaari ding bawasan sa bisa ng good conduct time allowance, parole, o commutation. Probation. Probation is disposition under which is dependent. After conviction and sentence, subject to condition imposed by the court and under the supervision of a probation officer. Ang probation ay isang disposition kung saan ang isang nasasakdal pagtapos ng pag-atol ay pinalaya ng mapais sa ilalim sa kondisyon ay pinataw ng hukuman at sa ilalim ng pangangasiwa ng opisyal ng probation or probation officer. Ito, pag naatulan yung guilty or accused na natulan na siya and yung pag kumuha siya ng provision or nag-apply siya ng provision, si provision officer ang mag-aawak sa kanya. Ito na nga yung dalawa. A provision officer is the person who investigate or court a referral for a probation or supervises a probationer or both. Ang probationer officer naman ay ang taong nag-imbestiga para sa korte ng isang referral para sa isang probasyon o pangangasiwa ng isang probationer. Ito, yung pagkumuha ng pag mababa yung sentence ng isang kaso ng mababa lang, pwede kang mag-apply ng provision tapos yung aawak sa'yo yung provision officer. Ito naman, a provisioner on the other hand is the person based on provision on section 3 of PD 967. Ito naman yung accused or guilty o yung mag-a-apply ng kukuha ng provision or mag-a-apply ng provision. Tawag sa kanya is provisioner. It must also be stressed that provision was established by PD 968, which was signed in the law on July 24, 1976. PD 968 in the law establishing a provision system appropriating funds therefore and other purposes. It is also known as the Provision Law of 1976 in Section 1 of PD 968 o Section 1 of Presidential Decree 968. Ito, dito ginawa yung law na to and dapat din bigyan diin ng probation ay tinatag ng PD 968 na nilagdaan ng bilang batas noong July 24, 1976 ng PD 968 ay ang batas na nagtatag ng probation system and established by President Ferdinand E. Marcos. The purpose of probation are the following. A. To promote the correction and rehabilitation of an offender by providing him with individualized treatment. Upang isulong ang pagwawasto ng rehabilitasyon ng isang nagkasala sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay sa kanya ng individual na paggamot. Dito naman, yung accused, pag nag-apply siya ng probation, parang rehabilitation siya and wawasto siya sa pamamagitan ng paggamot sa kanya. And letter B, to provide a opportunity for the reformation of a penitent offender which might be less probable if he were the serve a prison sentence, upang mabigyan ng pagkakataon para sa reformasyon ng isang nagsisi na nagkasalas na maaaring mas malaman kung siya ay magsilbi sa isang sentensya sa bilangguan. Bale, pag nag-provision ka, pag nag-apply ka ng provision, pag natulang ka na guilty ni judge, pag natulang ka na ng guilty, pag nag-apply ka ng provision or kumuha ka ng provision, di ka pa makukulong. Bale, maaano pa lang, di ka muna makukulong pag kumuha ka ng provision. And letter C, to prevent the commission of offenses on section 2 of PD 968, upang maiwasan ang paggawa ng pagkasala sa section 2 ng PD 968. Yung letter C, pag nag-apply ka ng probation, pag na-kompleto mo yon or na-accomplish mo yung probation, bali lahat ng yung nagawa mong kasalanan, burado lahat yun. Wala ka record pag na-accomplish mo yung probation. And yung pag nag-apply ka ng probation, dapat yung kaso mo mababa sa 6 years at di tataas sa 6 years. Maximum penalty hindi lalagpas sa 6 years. Yung minimum 5 to 6 years yung minimum ng probation. Pero kung yung kaso mo 6 years and 1 day or pataas pa, di ka makakakuha ng probation. Kasi yung probation, maximum is 6 years. Maximum penalty niya is 6 years. Pero kung yung kaso mo is 6 months lang, pwede ka mag-apply ng probation. And sa probation, pag 6 months lang, okay kang kumuha ng probation. Pero pag na-accomplish mo yon, tapos nagkakaso ka na naman, tapos natulang ka na naman ng judge, sa pangalawa, di ka na pwedeng kumuha ng probation. Kasi yung probation, isang beses lang siya, hindi siya pwedeng pangalawa. And pag nag-apply ka ng probation, yung pwede mong yung isubmit or requirements is MTC clearance o municipal court clearance, tsaka yung RTC clearance, regional trial court clearance, and clearance sa prosecutor office. Yan yung pwede mong ipasang requirements para makakuha ka ng probation. Yan, pag kukuha ka ng probation, siguraduhin mo lang na yung sentensya sa'yo o yung atol sa'yo is di tataas sa 6 years yung kaso mo. Mababa sa 6 years. And pag na-accomplish mo yung lahat ng pinapagawa sa'yo sa probation and natapos mo yun, lahat ng kaso mo burado. Hindi ka bibigyan ng record or ano man. Lahat ng kasong nagawa mo, burado lahat yun pag na-accomplish mo yung probation. And thank you.